Election day is just 8 days away now. Both presidential candidates need Pennsylvania in their win column. In the past 45 minutes, political editor Jon Delano spoke exclusively one-on-one with the Democratic presidential nominee, Joe Biden.
He joins us live now over Zoom. John, what did the former vice president have to say about the race here in Pennsylvania?
Well, Kim and Stacey, just a few minutes ago, I did have this one-on-one interview with the former vice president. And he had just returned from a very quick visit to Pennsylvania up in Chester, which is right outside Philadelphia. So I told him that earlier today, President Trump had said, quote, "We win in Pennsylvania, we win the whole thing." So I asked Vice President Biden, is the president right about that? Here's his answer.
Well, if he wins Pennsylvania, he's a whole lot closer, but I don't think he's going to win Pennsylvania. I think we'll win Pennsylvania. It's my home state. We spent a lot of time there, you know. When I actually announced in Pittsburgh. It was one of the three places I announced. And we visited a state. I just got back from southeastern Pennsylvania and Chester, Pennsylvania. Was up in Scranton and up in that area 2 days ago. I've been all over the state. And, I think we're going to do well because I think the folks in Pennsylvania view things from Pittsburgh and Scranton, not from Wall Street.
Now, I asked the vice president a number of other questions, including comments during the debate about the oil industry, about fracking, about all the lawsuits over the ballots here in Pennsylvania. I asked him whether the Supreme Court might ultimately decide the winner. And I asked him about Amy Coney Barrett, who in just a couple hours is going to be confirmed to the Supreme Court. We're going to have a lot of his comments coming up later tonight on the later newscast. Kim, Stacey?
All right, John, before you go, make this comparison if you can. The vice president put a lid on, as they call it, this morning, and then they changed that, and he did venture into Chester, which is not too far from where he had to go, 45 minutes or something like that. The president, on the other hand, made 3 campaign stops to large crowds here in Pennsylvania, mainly central Pennsylvania. So are we going to see more of Biden coming out this week, or what do you think?
Yeah, there was some criticism of him from fellow Democrats and from pundits that he wasn't campaigning. Joe Biden wasn't campaigning as hard as the president. So I asked him about that. You heard a little clip at the beginning where he said he's not going to be a COVID spreader like the president is, but he is going to a number of states. He's going to go to Georgia, Florida, Iowa, Wisconsin. He was here in Pennsylvania. So they've beefed up his schedule, I think, in the last few hours, and there could be more states as well. He said he has a weekend activities planned. Those are not public yet. So I think he does take this very seriously, and I don't have any doubt he will be campaigning. Maybe not quite as much as Donald Trump.
All right. Thank you, John. Look forward to your report tonight.